Hey.
You're my first interview of guest teachers, so it might not be super smooth, but that's okay. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you are teaching during the 200 hour.
Yeah, so I'm teaching anatomy in the 200 hour. A little bit of background. I started kind of in the um, health and movement space as a CrossFit coach about 10 years ago. Kind of an athlete all my life, so that was a good transition for me to kind of after sports in college. And yeah, I really enjoyed working with people, and so that was kind of the start, into that. And then um, as that kind of evolved, I got more into. I tried my first yoga class about shortly after that, and began to kind of get more into the body weight movement um, field, yoga, some other certifications around correctional movement and joint mobility. And then, yeah, started teaching yoga. I did my 200-hour teacher training in 2018, and um, been in Bozeman now for 3.5 years or so. And yeah, I'll be expanding my knowledge a little further this next week, actually, taking my 300 hours. So excited to incorporate that into anatomy teaching for this. Yeah.
Yeah, and so what we've been working together on how to change, how to shift, how to improve what you taught last year.
Mm-hmm.
What, based on those changes, are you excited to kind of walk people through? What will learning from you look like this year?
Yeah. So, last year we tried to really make this a hands-on approach. So not a lot of just going over PowerPoint slides and kind of information, and really make this hands-on. And then evaluating what we did last year and kind of what worked. We've talked about how we can make that even more interactive, um, both visually and kind of like actually, moving through and feeling into the body as we teach this. So excited to really kind of to dive deeper into the things that we can really explore, um, outside of kind of the just theoretical sense, but actually practice and begin to feel the different pieces of the anatomy in the body.
Yeah, what do you think you would tell someone who just graduated a 200-hour yoga teacher training in the world of anatomy, like advice you would give as they step out into the world of teaching?
um, yeah, that's a good question. Definitely for me, the way anatomy's helped me kind of after taking my training and diving deeper into that and understanding is just when you have that picture in your mind kind of the body and how that works, you're able to, I don't know, you're able to see that in your classes teaching. So that'd be, I guess, my advice is to, as you get more comfortable teaching, and observing your students in class, is begin to kind of observe them a little like deeper, like kind of seeing underneath the skin and the different um, muscles and points of the body that can really help you, make those adjustments both with cues and physical adjustments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been helping me with that, of specific things that are happening in my body, and it's been really helpful. Like now when I go to classes, I'm able to kind of tune into what's really happening internally, and it keeps me really present, super aware. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What has, or how has the practice of yoga impacted your life personally?
Yeah, yoga for me, when I first went to my first yoga class, one of the biggest things was was the focusing on the breath. Um, and so that kind of led me down a rabbit hole of exploring different ways to breathe, researching kind of and learning about how the breath can affect kind of all aspects of the body. So that was a big one. And then just that awareness in general of things in my physical body to start, and that kind of led me down to explorations of those. And then as you've done now yoga for 8 or 9 years, of kind of being able to take those awarenesses deeper beyond the physical body into
Mm-hmm.
all the different things of the mind, and ways we can regulate that, and our emotional, psychological selves, and then just the connection with other people, with the students and teachers. It's been an amazing community, so that's been a big positive of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one thing that we've talked about in terms of what you'll teach this year is a really in depth postural breakdown. Mm-hmm. And talking about the postures so that one, people can teach them, obviously, and two, really kind of feeling them in their own body. So as we're learning how to teach, we're also learning how to really find that in our own body as well. What maybe do you have a few postures you're really excited to break down?
Yes. I do. And it's not like, for me, it's the simpler postures, because they're the postures that you're going to see in every classes. Um, so Warrior 2 is a big one that I like to kind of break down, just because um, it really, I love focusing kind of on the center of the body, the hips. Yeah. And so Warrior 2 kind of has, an interaction with the hips at a lot of different angles, the front and the back kind of.
The external of the front, and then the abduction of the back is the combination.
Exactly.
It's pretty hard.
Yeah, exactly. And then how that will, it's simple enough that you can see a lot. When you are observing somebody in Warrior 2, you can really learn about kind of where their limitations in mobility, or strength are kind of throughout the body. Mm-hmm. So it's a good posture to be able to observe somebody, and then you start to learn about them to see how they might be, or where they might be limited in other postures.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's how I love to teach too, is the art of foreshadowing, especially and anatomically, is really powerful. So breaking it down in that way will be cool.
Yeah, and it's that's one of the things I've loved working about with you, is one of the things you enjoy is kind of that creative sequencing. So seeing how you sequence things, and then kind of bouncing ideas off of how we can take what we've learned, in some of those simpler postures in anatomy, and see how that might, mesh into how you might creatively sequence a class. Is kind of fun.
Totally, because even the biggest, most complicated postures, when you break them down, we can get into them. We just have to be ready and open and prepared for that. Yeah. What would you say to someone who might be on the fence about a 200-hour yoga teacher training? Is there, something you would say in terms of what the 200-hour, whether you're teaching or not, or what you're going to learn, or how it might change the practice?
Yeah. For me, like I said, before, just like you can take a bunch of yoga classes, and there's so many great teachers out here, especially in Bozeman, that you can definitely learn a lot and kind of find that awareness through the practice. But being able to kind of take a step back, outside of an hour class, and dive deeper into some of these topics, just beyond one, just diving deeper into the physical, like we'll do in kind of posture breakdowns and anatomy, but then just the additional stuff that you might not get as much of in, some of your regular, hour-long yoga classes that you go to, from the philosophy and kind of deeper understanding and, learning about yourself. Um, it has so much value just beyond the yoga practice,
Yeah.
into your life. That even if you never teach a class, you'll see benefit from. And it's often even the people who don't think they'll teach classes that often end up finding, something within the the, the yoga practice that they want to share. And so that's kind of cool to see as people go through it. So.
Yeah, super cool. I often find myself kind of holding back when I teach hour-long classes too. I'm like, you can't go that deep. Like, it's not going to work. And so it's cool for us as teachers to have that time and space to go deeper in the way that we want to too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else you want to share?
Yeah, no, just super excited for this. And yeah, if you're watching,
Yeah.
sign up. It's you won't regret it.
Thanks, Taylor.